Hey, Houston. Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepickettrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepickettrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events.
Coming to you live from the White Picket Studios in Houston, Texas, this is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
Welcome to the Realty Ruckus out of the White Picket Realty Studios. We are here to make sure that your business is consistently growing. I am your host, Alan Hernandez. Sitting next to me, your producers, David Bonilla, Gibran Hernandez. Don't forget to drop your questions, comments, concerns below. And of course, share the show with anyone out there in the real estate industry. We don't care if you're selling houses, buying them, lending on them, whatever you're doing, we want to talk to you because this is all about you. All right, so before we get started on today's show, we just got done with Easter weekend.
We sure did.
Easter weekend seems to be like one of the best weekends to just hang out and veg out with the family. I don't know if that's what you guys do. Do you guys have like a special celebration or something?
Dude, we're moving and rocking. We're going places. Yeah. We got to go do the bluebonnet photos.
You guys are outdoorsy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do the bluebonnet photos, like, what do you do, like drive down to like Austin?
No, man.
No? No. Like those are like the best fields for.
No, that's true. They do have. No, we drove out to the country. Ashley's grandparents have some land out in Anderson. We drove out there, spent some time with them. They have beautiful bluebonnets on their land, and then we went out to Washington on the Brazos and spent some time with my family and took other bluebonnet pics there too.
Nice, man. Well, we got a chance to just hang out. We went to the park. We brought the radio. We brought some. What did we bring? Some ribs. We brought chicken.
Oh, there's a lot of good food.
We got a lot of food this time. It was like right next to a playground, so the kids got a chance to play. It was just a good way to hang out. We flew some kites, played some football. What else did we do? Just kind of just hung out all day, man. Just with the family.
Yeah, just a regular family. Alan's so like amazed by hanging out with family. It's like, oh my God, we did so much stuff.
You know what?
With family.
You know what? It's just one of those things that you don't get a chance to do every day. You know, or really like for us, we're so busy, tied up with everything that we have going on that we don't get a chance to see all the aunts and uncles and tios and tias and everyone just kind of hanging out together. You know, it only really happens during Christmas or New Year's, and then there's like these sporadic little events throughout the year where we get a chance to really just hang without another purpose like a birthday or something that has to be achieved.
Well, one thing that me and my wife were talking about, Ashley, that we kind of noticed is so funny that as Texans, we're so proud to be Texan that we just literally saw hundreds of people stopping on the side of busy-ass roads, highways, getting out dressed all fancy to take pictures with a flower.
Yes.
Right? And
That's
we were
why I
just-
asked you if you went to Austin, because I don't know if you've ever done that during Bluebonnet season.
Oh,
if you're
dude.
driving to Austin,
the rolling hills that are just blue.
yes,
They look
and
amazing.
then you see cars like just stop for miles and miles on end, and
People
you're
doing
like,
some dangerous ass shit just to get a photo with that flower.
they're like almost being run over by these 18-wheelers, but they're like running across to just get into these fields and taking cool pictures. And we did that last year. We haven't got a chance to do it this year, but last year we did that. And it was a really cool experience. The best part about it was that we were probably just like breaking and entering into someone else's yard, you know, like but there was so many people around us that were just like, all right.
cool with it
I've
too.
never seen that.
You've never seen that? What?
No, I've never seen that.
You must not be Texan then.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever.
Dude, are you trolling right now?
Yeah,
No,
seriously.
I don't think I've ever.
Go ahead and drop your trolling.
You've never
comments down below.
seen people stop to take pictures with Bluebonnets.
No.
Like, do you get outside of the city a little bit at all?
Yeah, I
or-
drive a lot, but I guess because I'm driving, I'm always focused on the road. I don't see all the people doing that.
Well, they're literally on the road. Like, you got to kind of miss.
You almost
get out of the way to dodge them. No, yeah, but me and Ashley were laughing about. I was like, do people like do this in like Connecticut and shit? Like, stop and take pictures with tulips or whatever their state flower
no.
is. I think
With
Texans are the
tulips.
only
Very-
special breed that do that.
It's a very Texan thing to do, and of course, you take those pictures and you post them everywhere. You go
Yeah.
on social media,
I
and
still
you
gotta
send them to
post
your
them online.
family, and now everybody knows that you went out and did your Bluebonnet pictures and nearly died in the side of the road trying to get them. So definitely have to go through that rites of passage to be Texan. We have a great show planned out for you guys today, and one of the things we want to talk about is Har freaking out. I love it when Har freaks out, but really,
Oh, you do?
but really, not today. Not
I was like, hey, that guy's not nice.
You know, hey, here's the thing. HAR doesn't HAR. I say HAR, but they don't
Yeah.
like it when
They hate it. I don't know what
they
you
don't
keep
like it
saying
when
that.
we say that. All right, so let's make sure that we say it the right way. HAR does not like it when we call them that, so we're gonna say it right. But they don't normally freak out. This time they're freaking
Yep.
out, and it's for a really good reason. You definitely want to hear about this, and you may want to freak out a little bit too. Stay tuned. You're on the Realty Ruckus. We'll be right back.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey guys, Alan here. Are you a home investor in need of house plans and permit expediting services? If so, Houston Plans and Permits is your local one-stop shop. They have over 15 years of professional design experience and have a strong team of knowledgeable permitting expediters to service all of your projects. Please contact them by calling them at 281-372-1555. Again, 281-372-1555. Or visit them at their website, plansandpermits.com. Again, that's www.plansandpermits.com.
Hey Houston real estate agents, this is Alan Hernandez, broker at White Picket Realty. I want to let you know that when you're ready to stop working your real estate career and start building a real estate business, Team WPR is the place to be. Not only do we offer real results, real support, and real branding, but furthermore, 80 to 100% commissions of your hard-earned money going back to you. Make sure you reach out to us. Join at teamwpr.com. Again, that's join, Join, at teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember, you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, we want to go ahead and jump out of the conversation of Easter weekend, and we want to jump into the conversation of
Hard freaking out.
It's not even about hard freaking out. This is a really big deal.
Yes, it is.
You don't think it's a big deal?
No, it's a huge deal.
There's a reason the heart is
all of
freaking
us,
out.
and there's a good reason.
Hey,
why
you guys.
we're getting emails from HA. By the way, you keep saying it wrong.
You because you put it in my head.
You
now
keep saying it wrong.
You totally inception.
I'm going to report. I'm going to
You guys
report
remember last
to
time
HR.
Alan didn't take something serious, and he was.
Oh yeah, the last thing you didn't take serious was Harvey. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you guys remember that time?
And then we didn't have an office for 2 months.
If there's somebody who you should not listen to when it comes to taking things seriously, I think history might show.
Not do that again.
No, this is actually a really big deal. If you're a realtor, if you're an investor, if you're
anyone in real estate, this can really change the way things are done here in Houston.
This is a huge deal, and it has to do with the flood maps, the FEMA flood maps. And we talked about this on the show probably a month ago, I want to say, Brandon, about a month ago, we had an episode where we brought this up, and I had just sat in with the flood department down at the city of Houston. And one of the things I overheard them talking about was the new flood requirements. And I said, wait a minute, what do you mean new flood requirements? What are you talking about? And they said, yeah, the new flood requirements that we're rolling out, they were training new staff. So they were getting ready for the fact that they were going to have all these new people to check for the new flood requirements. So I said, well, what is the new flood requirement?
They're taking it as fact.
Yeah, they were taking it as fact. Down at the city, the flood management office, they were like, this is 100% fact. It's going to happen. I said that on a show. I said, everyone watch out, because this is what I heard down at the city. And then people say, oh, no, they're voting on it. It's probably not going to pass. I'm going, well, the city just hired a bunch of people down there, and they were training them like this thing is going to pass. And it's one of those things they're trying to do effective immediately, which is a really big deal, because it means if it passes tomorrow, effective immediately, they're ready to move forward. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, houses have a base flood elevation, right? They have a line where they set them, and they say, if you're below this line, you're likely to flood in the 100-year floodplain.
Right.
If you're above this line, then you're above the 100-year floodplain.
Okay. So this is just a line that somebody comes up with?
Well, they base it off of elevation. So FEMA, the federal government, they have smart engineers who say, how would water run out of the reservoirs, out of the rivers, out of everything else, and where would it go to if those reservoirs overflow? And this is how they determine the 100-year floodplains. And they go, it's all purely based on elevation. Now, look, it makes a lot of sense if you live like near a mountain. Because then you say, okay, well, the rain comes down, it's going to flood this way.
The water rolls
and it's going to go into the hills in this way.
Okay.
But Houston is mainly flat. The elevations don't change very much. We do have change in elevation, but it doesn't change a lot. Yet we base our flood maps off of this. And so the new requirement, so let me talk about the previous requirement. The previous requirement was, if you have a home in the 100-year floodplain, then you can only do 50% of the value of the property, not the value of the building, not the property value. And what you got to remember is that there's buildings out there that are valued, literally it's zero.
Yeah.
Like the city has said that building has zero value, it's all land value.
So if you do any work on those type of homes,
then you can do like 50 cents worth of work because it's valued at $1. If it's valued at $100, you can do $50 worth of work.
That's basically the way the city pushes you to demo that and start from scratch, and they require you to raise it.
Your other option is to raise the elevation on a property and lift it 1 foot above the base flood elevation, what puts you at the 500-year mark. That's 1 foot above base. This is why this is such a big deal. And I can tell you guys, this is pretty much a given down at the city. I know HAR is freaking out. They sent everybody to see them, and they're like, everyone right now, call Mayor Sylvester Turner. Everyone, let them know that this shit's going to destroy real estate.
If you're the mayor and your phone is just blowing up
right now with people going, please don't pass this. But I can tell you, the flood management office, they've been hiring people for the last month, 2 months, training them on this new requirement.
So on their end, it doesn't seem like they're going to stop. HAR is crying out for help. Last minute help.
It's very last minute, and that's what's scary about this, because we see the city that's completely prepared for this.
Yeah.
And then right now, the vote is tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, this is not something that's happening like next week.
Yeah, the vote is tomorrow.
The vote is tomorrow.
And the effective date is going to be the day it passes. So that's why it is such a huge deal. And I think HAR didn't take it seriously. I think they thought, we're HAR. They'll do whatever we say. We tell them to vote one way. I don't think they realize, hey, there's been people who have been preparing for this already. It's pretty much a given down at the city that this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to pass. This is a big freaking deal. So the new requirement, the old one was a foot above base flood elevation.
Foot above.
The new requirement is you have to raise it out of the 500-year floodplain. You've got to go 2 feet above the base flood elevation.
Which for a lot of houses is very high.
Yes, that is very high because most houses in the 100-year floodplain are like a foot or two below the base flood elevation. So you're already raising them 2 or 3 feet just to go 1 foot above. Now you're having to go 4 feet with the new requirement. And this is anything that hasn't been permitted as of the day that it passed. So let's say you're closing on a house tomorrow. It's in the 100-year. It's in the 500-year. Now you have to raise it a foot above the 500-year.
So you close on it tomorrow. They also vote and pass it tomorrow. You're thinking one thing through your investment analysis, and now you find out you got to spend an additional $20,000 to $30,000.
Oh man, you are in a world of hurt.
If you own houses and you have not renovated them already, you are going to have to go through every single department that there is and beg for mercy just to try to get away.
And I can tell you, there's no mercy. There's no mercy down in the city.
No, this is the way things are. You have to raise the house, and you didn't budget for that. So pretty much, if you bought a bunch of flood houses, which we know a lot of people that
did,
you are completely screwed. But here's the other thing: what about homeowners? Homeowners are screwed, and that's what's scary.
Because they have to fix those houses.
They have to fix the houses. But if this happens, think about the people that say down the road, they say, you know what, I'd like to fix up my house and sell it. Maybe it just needs some work. Well, now they won't be able to.
They won't be able to get their permits. And here's the thing. Look, I know a lot of people because I've been out to a lot of houses. I see them under construction. They don't have a permit. They haven't gotten a permit. They're flood houses, and they're in the 100-year floodplain, and they've gotten away with it so far. But wait till the day that you get red tagged, the day that the city starts imposing fines, because yes, they can impose fines. Those fines then become criminal. You can actually get locked up for working on a house that's in the 100-year floodplain without having the proper permits.
Or they can take your utilities.
That's the second part they do. They go and they pull your electrical meter, they pull your water, they pull your gas meter. Now how can you live in a house with no electricity, no gas? It's impossible unless you're living off a generator. And then the next thing that happens, habitability will come out and declare that house uninhabitable, and it will throw everyone out, board it up, and then you have no choice but to fix it, tear it down, or lift it.
Okay,
this is a huge freaking deal.
Completely, but it's important that everyone knows why this is important.
It's a situation with a lot of gravity.
Yes.
Linda actually mentioned, one of our agents and viewers, thanks for watching, Linda, that they're already elevating houses right across the street from her office, which is very near our office here.
And here's the crazy thing, though. They're elevating them to meet the new requirement. So, look, there's some people that are going crazy, and they're going like 4 feet above base flood. That's far and few between, though. Most people are going the limit of the requirement. We need a foot above. I'm going a foot above. Why am I going to go 2 feet above? And here's the thing. Even if your house didn't flood, if you just buy a house in a 100-year floodplain that didn't flood, and we're going to get into that in a second because that's the even bigger deal. But even if you did that and it didn't flood, you're still required to lift it. Hey, guys, but this house didn't flood. I don't care. It's in a 100-year floodplain. This is our new requirement, so you got to go 2 feet above now. So now as an investor, maybe you say, okay, fine, I'll pay for 1 foot, but 2 feet, that's a lot more money to lift that extra foot. There's a lot more work involved. There's a lot more engineering involved for 1 foot of raising a whole slab foundation. So you're talking about really throwing off a lot of dollars. You're talking about throwing off home buyers and home sellers, not even affecting the investment community. This has such widespread. I can't believe that the city is about to do this without letting the public know. The public doesn't know about this.
Okay, so we were just talking about, and we've talked a few times about the inefficiency that we have in our local government.
Yes.
And how there is literally 2 supervisors for 1 work.
And it's funny because yesterday we were driving around, we see some city workers, and literally there's 1 guy working and 2 guys watching the 1 guy working.
We were making fun of this. It was on the show a few weeks ago, and we literally saw this happening. There is a guy sitting there drilling, and 2 guys standing next to him watching him. And it was like, all right, well, this is a perfect example of the city that we live in.
Exactly.
And don't get me wrong, I love Houston. I love the culture. There's a lot of things to love about Houston, but definitely when it comes to the governing body and the decision-making process, something is broken. the fact
Well, I'll say play devil's advocate. It's always easy to talk shit about things you don't like. We don't say all the nice things that we appreciate the city's done. But yes, go ahead.
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is a horrible city to live in, but I can tell you that if this goes through, it's going to affect all of us.
Why
it's
do you
going to
think
affect the industry? It's going to affect home ownership.
Why do you think the city decided to do this and move so quickly on
I'll
it?
tell you why. Because the city doesn't have the money to actually remediate the real problem, which is drainage. This has nothing to do with flooding. Look, this is a complete drainage problem. The Memorial area, they've been fighting with the city forever.
Since the tax day.
They had a specialist come out there and assess the drainage lines, 80% clog on the actual storm drainage. That's why Memorial was flooding. That's why it flooded in the tax day sale. That's why it flooded Memorial Day. It had nothing to do with, we have too much. No, the water was supposed to go somewhere, but it was 80% clogged. How can your water go anywhere when your drainage is 80%? Go stick a piece of toilet paper in your toilet, clog it 80%, and watch where your turds go. They're going to go back into your bathroom.
You wouldn't use that analogy.
That's the best analogy because people can understand that analogy. The water should be able to flow. And here's the biggest thing. Look. They're about to make a financial decision that's going to have a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 plus impact on a lot of people throughout the city.
More than that.
Because it's going to affect the 100 and the 500. Now, it's not just a 100-year thing. It's a 500-year thing because you got to be a foot above, 2 feet above, a foot above the 500, 2 feet above the 100. That's a really big deal.
Yeah.
Now, they did a study, and this study was released right before Harvey. And this was Texas A&M and Galveston. Yeah, Texas A&M, they have the real estate location there.
Yeah.
75% of homes that did flood damage claims, and we're talking about actual rainwater flood damage, not flood damage from like a pipe, from 1999 to 2009. So they took 10 years worth of data. They analyzed the hell out of it. You know what they found? 75% of the houses that had flood claim damage were not in a flood zone. They were floodplain X. They're not even 500. They're not 100. They're floodplain X.
Flood zone.
Exactly. They're in the one that one will never flood ever. You've got like a 1 in 1 million
We're talking about
chance.
3 out of 4 houses that have had flood claims.
So in those 10 years, from
Even in
99
the
to
100 or
2009.
500.
No, sir.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's 10 years worth of data.
And they're making decisions based on these maps that are going to affect Houston financially. This is insane that the city's being allowed to do this. I can't believe it.
The city put it really well. They said that they are putting together a one-size-fits-all approach, basically a one-size-fits-all patch to this problem, but it certainly isn't a real solution. So we dropped the link below. We have to take a quick commercial break, but in the link below, if you're listening, share this now and make sure that everyone out there needs to go in there. And if you have the mayor's number, call him, text him. I mean, do whatever you need to do. But this cannot go through tomorrow. Stay tuned. You're on the Realty Ruckus. We'll be right back.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey guys, Alan here. Are you a home investor in need of house plans and permit expediting services? If so, Houston Plans and Permits is your local one-stop shop. They have over 15 years of professional design experience and have a strong team of knowledgeable permitting expediters to service all of your projects. Please contact them by calling them at 281-372-1555. Again, 281-372-1555. Or visit them at their website, plansandpermits.com. Again, that's www.plansandpermits.com.
Hey, Houston real estate agents. This is Alan Hernandez, broker at White Picket Realty. I want to let you know that when you're ready to stop working your real estate career and start building a real estate business, Team WPR is a place to be. Not only do we offer real results, real support, and real branding, but furthermore, 80 to 100% commissions of your hard-earned money going back to you. So make sure you reach out to us. Join at teamwpr.com. Again, that's join, Join, at teamwpr.com.
Now we're coming back.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube. If you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, today is a very, very serious topic. It's something that if you haven't heard about it, it affects you as a homeowner, it affects you as a home seller, it affects you as an investor, it affects you as a realtor, it affects you as an insurance person, it affects you 100% all across the board. Yep. This is one of the biggest things that Houston's ever done, and it's not being covered on the news. It's not being covered anywhere publicly. The only organization to freak out about it now is HAR. They're like, hey, wait, what's going on? And they're sending out a last-minute call to arms. Everyone blow up Mayor Sylvester Turner. Make this vote stop. And really what this comes down to is what we were saying over the break. Look, 75% of these houses that had flood claims were not even in the flood area. They were in the preferred zone, which is floodplain X, which is never supposed to flood. This is crazy. And they're saying, well, there's more advanced models that we should be using, but we're not using them. And the real question is, why are we not just looking at 20 years of past flood data and saying, hey, areas that flood and have flood claims, those are areas that should be flood areas, and areas that don't have flood claims, those are non-flood areas. I mean, it's just...
Because that would make sense.
Yeah, that would make sense. But
that's why we're not doing it.
What it comes down to at the end of the day is they want to be able to point the finger at something and say, but the FEMA maps say that this is the way it should be. That's the federal government. Sorry, guys, what can we do about it? We don't need to fix the drainage. You guys need to build your houses higher. That's what the city's doing, is they're putting off a $25 billion expense and changing the drainage patterns in the city onto us by saying, well, just freaking lift the houses. Just build them higher. Now, here's what's crazy. Brand new home builders that built houses up high to be out of the floodplain, their houses flooded. What do you tell them? What are you supposed to look at them and say, what are we going to do when we're building houses 2 feet above base flood elevation and they're still freaking flooding? Because I've been to houses that are not in a flood zone that got 6 feet of water. This is not a flood problem that the way they see it. This is a drainage problem, and it's just over the years complete neglect by the city, and we let it get worse and worse and worse.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because what's going to happen to those areas that got 6 feet of water and they're in zone X? Now, does that really fix anything?
Even if you lift it 2 feet,
anything?
Exactly, this does nothing. Okay, fine, I lifted it up 2 feet. Yeah, you got 6 feet in 2017, you got 3 feet in 2016, and you got 6 inches in 2015. So what? You lifted it up 2 feet? Well, great. You can expect a foot of water next time instead of 6 feet of water.
And then at what point does this stop? I mean, how high are we gonna have to be building these houses before this?
Hey man, I'm elevating my house 14 feet. It's like, it makes no sense, man. You go drive down Brays Bayou, look at Meyerland. There's houses there at 10 feet up in the air. Guess what? That's because Brays Bayou is not draining the way that it's supposed to drain out into the ocean. That's what needs to be fixed, not building houses that high up.
So are there any plans, anything at all out there for actually solving the drainage issues that the city's facing?
They are. There's a $25 billion plan that was proposed by the Army Corps of Engineers right after the flooding. They were like, wait a minute. The Addicks Reservoir and the Barker Reservoirs are completely outdated. They're really, really bad. And I think they were at effectiveness, like 62% effectiveness during the floods, which means that, they were at 38% effectiveness. So they were 62% fail rate, which means that had they been that other 62%, they would have probably held a ton of the water that got released onto everybody. All those houses that had the water released onto them would not have been affected. That's the people that wouldn't have been affected because the reservoirs would have collected all that water. But you're talking about, where does the city, in case you don't know this and anyone listening, City of Houston is broke. We are in a deficit. We're right now, we're in debt as a city. We're on the fast path to becoming Detroit if we don't do something soon. And we already property tax ourselves to death here. Yeah. So where else can we get the money from?
Oh, I know. Let's make everyone raise their houses.
Exactly. That's called shifting the budget, which explains why the city already has people working that are already being trained, because this is a given that they said.
It's like salivating. They're like, oh, yes.
This is the easy solution.
There's no way we're getting the money.
No, there's no way we're getting the money. That we can take no responsibility here. Let's put it off on the homeowners. Tell them they have to lift their houses higher, and that's it. Wash our hands, clean it up, boom. But what they don't realize, they're killing real estate in Houston. Yeah. Where do they think the money's going to come from? All the property values are going to tank when people aren't buying in those areas anymore.
Those areas are going to hit a slump. Houses that are now considered borderline affordable are going to have to go way up in cost. Yep. It's going to make it very difficult for our homeowners.
It's already tight supply.
It's already a tight supply, but now our first-time homeowners, instead of waiting a year or two before they can find something that's reasonably affordable, they're going to have to wait even longer, or just be priced out of being able to buy their first home.
Absolutely, man.
Which is incredible that someone didn't take all of this into consideration before dropping it into this voting cycle tomorrow and impacting so many thousands of people.
Yeah, I'm being told that we have to move forward. Sorry, this is just a topic I was really passionate about because it has such a big effect.
We're all passionate about it.
It's really
a big deal.
Yeah, it's so huge, and to me, it's just amazing that no one's been talking about it. We mentioned it a month ago, and it just kind of went by the wayside. We mentioned it
a month ago, and truth is, we laughed about it, and we made a lot of fun of the city and whatnot. And maybe in the back of our mind, maybe we didn't think it was really gonna go through because it's so absurd. This is real now. Now
it's very, very real.
So check out the link below. Go on there. Send our mayor an email and make sure you make a call to action. We have to take a quick commercial break.
No, we don't have to take a break. We got to talk about events.
Let's talk about events.
Oh, we got to talk about events.
Man, stop trying to kick me off the show, Alan. Jeez.
All right, what events do we have coming up?
All right, so tomorrow there's the Midtown Block Party, and AMI Lenders is going to be out parked up in front of Spicy Girls and across the street at Winburn Hall, and they're going to be hosting the Real Estate Industry Mixer. That's going to be a great time. It's a kind of an event within any event, so feel free to invite out your family, like your client, your friends, and other real estate professionals, because it's a whole block party, and then there's a little section just for real estate people. So that's going to be pretty awesome. I always look forward to the food there as well.
April 5th, we have the NARET.
Yes, Destroying the Lending Myth. You want to tell us about that one?
Destroying the Lending Myths is happening April 5th. That's this Thursday from 4 to 7 p.m. We have a rock star panel of speakers. One of them, Renee Rodriguez, coming in from Altera Mortgage, who is going to give us all of the knowledge that he has on why our agents aren't able to close some of those callers that call and say, hey, I have this scenario or this scenario, I need this mortgage, can you help me? And our agents are thinking no, when the real answer is yes, we can. So we're going to bring you all of the information that it takes to push those potential buyers from sitting on your database to actually closing the transaction.
Yeah, so Thursday you have a chance to really soak up some good knowledge and then kick it back and relax later in the night at the block party. That's a pretty awesome day. And then actually next week is another great opportunity. We are renewing the real estate rally once again on Wednesday the 11th. It's going to be from 6 to 9 p.m. And guys, last time we had close to 400 real estate industry professionals at St. Arnold's Brewing Company. It was amazing networking. I was getting compliments all night long of how great in an event and the networking was there at St. Arnold's.
By the way, I want to give a big shout out to some of our new partners for this event.
Oh, awesome.
Monarch Title just signed on.
Great.
They're going to be joining us. Yes, so big shout out to them. We also just had attorney Rochelle Davis sign up. She's also going to be joining us at the real estate rally. If you guys need any services from either a title company or a real estate attorney, both of these companies really do a great job. We love having the ability to be able to work with them here in-house. Yeah. And we can't wait for you guys to meet them at the event as well.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, and let's see what else we got here. Sorry.
So we have that's the big one, the real estate rally on the 11th. And then Friday, you guys want to tell them a little bit about the vision board event that we're going to have?
That's right. So the vision board event, it was actually started hosted by your team, and then it kind of grew to inviting everybody.
I don't know how that happened. Okay, so the idea was we were going to get together and create vision boards.
Yeah.
And somebody said, well, let's just put it on the website and see if anybody else is interested in coming. Now we have quite a few people. You guys are all welcome to come.
But space is pretty limited, though, right?
There's only 20 seats. Yeah. We can't host more than we can host more, but this is a very special, intimate event. We want to make sure that it's really one of those deals where we can interact with everyone.
20 spaces, and is there a cost and why?
Yeah, it's $15, but that's because it comes with breakfast and endless mimosas, and of course all of the supplies to actually create your vision board. So it's going to be a real good time. You guys are all invited.
Those are warm and fuzzy visions that are going to be coming.
Your visions are going to be so nice.
These visions are just so nice.
Make sure you join us. That's on the 13th, which is next Friday.
Oh, next Friday. That's right.
That's right. And that's in the morning, by the way, 8 a.m. to about 11 a.m.
Awesome.
All right, that's it for today's show. Thank you guys for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed our rants. Make sure you take action down below. Don't forget that we're on every Tuesday and Thursday from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Don't forget to keep up your ruckus, and we'll see you next time.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Productions.